Hey, what is up, ecosystem? Mic check 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me okay? Please let me know if you can. And welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. So I keep asking myself, what is missing in the conversation about transportation? Is the answer actual logistics? What actually happens at the actual location when the actual vehicle gets picked up and delivered, and what actually happens in between? Let's say you ordered a pizza. Where did you order from? How busy were they when you ordered? How complicated is your order? How soon after you ordered does delivery actually begin? And does the pizza maker know where the delivery driver actually is? Yes, a car is a melting block of ice, and delivery cannot take forever. But transportation expectations need to be realistic. If you expect free delivery, do not expect fast delivery. Cheap, fast, good. There is no consistent unicorn transport other than Amazon. So if we're really going to talk about transportation, sure, we can talk about how great the technology is and who's the number one company for this or that. But if we keep the carriers, dealers, and remarketers trapped in conversations in their own vertical silos, we're never going to actually make logistics great again. So thank you for joining us tonight. Please do say hello in the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, and grow your business, because it's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It's Tuesday nights live. That's right, we're live. It's Tuesday night. We're back in the house, and this is Tuesday nights live. This is the flagship show. This is how I kick off the week, right? Going live 4 times a week. And let me do this. If this is your first time here, I want you to feel welcome. Please do feel welcome on Auto Transport Intel. Everybody's welcome. You can ask questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, and please do say hello in the live chat. By the way, mic check 1, 2, 3. I don't know why the audio changes. If you tuned in, man, last week, did you hear that? Last week was crazy. Now I got to raise the volume. Please let me know. Can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? Mic check 1, 2, 3. And also, I am going to go into the live chat. We're going to say hello. We're going to do that here in a few minutes. And then we're going to go into industry news. Industry news is a big part of the show. And actually, Ty just sent me this video. I'm going to share this crazy video. You aren't going to want to miss that. We got a crazy video. Then we've got actual news, national news, social media news, front of the store, back of the store, what's being talked about. Ooh, and are you a car shipping guru? Ask Larry. It's a game, and we're going to play some more of that. Also, man, before we get to the feature panel, we're also going to do a short information superhighway about all of the digital auctions, the physical auctions, digital, physical. It's interesting how big the picture is, and there's still different opinions about what's best, what's working. And then finally, we're going to go into the carrier dealer remarketer discussion panel live on Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. We've got Michele Pirog from Park My Fleet, Paul Machine from Black Book, Mike Buchanan from ARI, Tim Scoutelis from Max Digital, and there he is, the man, Ty Thompson, Cars on the Move. He's in there. Oh, he's in there with his diamond hands again. What's going on, Ty? Thank you so much. And you know what happens when you do that? He's ringing the... it is a cowbell. It is a cowbell. Ty, thank you so much for ringing the cowbell. And I gotta check the transitions. Really, the scene? Oh, it is. It's on cut. Wow, check this out. I just changed it. I just changed it to fade. I didn't like that immediate cut. And I don't know how it got changed. Man, the studio, it's crazy. There's so much going on. Thank you so much, Ty, buddy, with your diamond hands, your participation. I'm really excited about tonight's show. This is interesting. This is episode 180 on a Tuesday nights live, and we've really incorporated other verticals in the ecosystem. You know, it's not just carriers, it's not just dispatchers, it's not just brokers or loads or load boards. Man, if we really want to look at the full picture, we've got to get outside of our comfort zone. And this is one of those shows. I'm not extremely comfortable wrapping my arms around the auctions and the dealers at the same time, which is why I've actually got some interesting stuff in the highway for you all to look at. I keep talking. Let's do this. I got to get to the live chat. But do me a favor. After you hit that like button, hit that share button. You see it below the video. You can grab share, copy. You can grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media. Say, listen, he's talking about the ecosystem with the dealers and the auctions, where the loads are, where they're going to, the why, the to, the where, the for. And this is a lead into, in a week and a half, I'm going to be moderating a panel at IARA event on the 18th. We're going to be talking more about that. If you have deep business questions, you are just burning it up, trying to figure out what's going on, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up. We're going to be right back after this into the live chat. Stick around.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
That is the voice of Sue. She's in the live chat. You'll also see the website, email address, phone number. Sue runs a dispatch office. So if you're looking for a dispatcher or broker, you're not even sure which is which, contact her. Say, I need a dispatcher or broker. I've got loads. They need to get moved. I need to contact carriers. What do I do? There's Sue's information. Or if you're a carrier and you know you need loads, you have trouble finding them, there's the information. And join us on Thursdays on Dispatching Live. Sue is my co-host, and I really appreciate what we do on that show. Okay, let's go into the live chat. I got to back this up. So you're seeing the current live chat on your screen, but I'm going backwards, all right? So in here first with Ty, Cars on the Move. This is where I get my remarketing intel. I see what you did there. That's cool, man. Thank you. Mike Baldwin, what is the name of your podcast and if it is on iTunes? So I saw your YouTube comment and question on that. Here's what you got to do. You got to go to, I put in the link to the Auto Transport Intel website. That's the .com, the domain. You go to the domain, you click on podcast, and then you're going to get to this link. Now, right now, I'm not on iTunes, and I want to be. And I was actually working on that today, and there's, everything's a process. So I'm not on iTunes yet, but there is a podcast. It's on Podbean is where it's hosted. Check that out until I get onto iTunes, or, just keep watching the videos on YouTube. And thank you so much. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics in the house. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Kimberly is in here. What's going on, Kimberly? Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live with your host, Jay. Please join the live chat. Ask questions. Yes, post your company info. Network. Ask questions like I saw, like John. Finest Towing and Recovery is in here. Saying hello, talking about fuel. Mark Rodicke at SuperFlo Systems is in here. You got a software question? Talk to Mark. You thinking about moving from New Jersey to Florida? Talk to John. Yeah, man. Joel Hawk is in here. What's up, car people? Joel, thanks for tuning in and saying hello. I've seen you on LinkedIn. Great to connect. And yeah, let's connect. I'm not LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn constantly. It's such a great place to network and make those business connections. That's what we're focused on the business channel. Paul Machine of Black Book. He's in the live chat. What's up, Paul Machine? I hit the nail. Thank you, Paul. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. Because, right? I say it's actually a joke from Thursday from Dispatching Live. There's a company that will post like actual pickup, actual delivery. Well, yeah, it's actually it is actually very important what's going on actually, right? Instead of all this talk and speculation and hope and easy peasy. Man, easy peasy drives me crazy. What's going on? Trevor from Wet Chrome Logistics is in here. What's happening? Fast Eddie Silverman, what's going up? Actually, what is up, man? What is actually up? Mike Buchanan is here. Oh, thank you, Mike Buchanan. Mike Buchanan. I really appreciate it, buddy. Joining us tonight. Super cool. It is really, really cool. Let's see. And there's Ty, Super Chat. Thank you so much, Ty, for the contribution to the channel. It means so much. And Michele Pirog is here. What's going on? ParkMyFleet.com. And let's see. Congratulations on show 180. I know, isn't that cool? This is Tuesday Nights Live, 180 in a row. And if you look back, if you go back to the beginning, it was a lot of the dispatching and just kind of experimenting with trying to put a show together. The studio really evolved a lot last year, the channel lineup, and a lot's happened. I've met a lot of people, and I miss trade shows, man. I got to get back to the trade shows. We got to get back out there. But just being able to do this virtually, and actually, it's the virtual component that I think helped this channel really take off. The need to connect, communicate, network, educate, from the comfort of your own home. And so that's what we're doing here. That's what Auto Transport Intel is all about. And above that, I'm a media marketing guy. I have to create content. It is my oxygen. And I want to create great content. Actually, I'm really proud of some of the shows lately, the podcast content, some of the interviews. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the in industry news. But I'll tell you what, before we do go any further, check this out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to run this video right after this.
Hey guys, Ty, CTS Business Coaching. I connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. If you're a dealer and you're not getting your inventory on the lot in 5 days ready to sell, you've got a problem. It's called interest. Like I'm telling you something you don't know. Give me a call. I can connect you with an auction and a carrier, and you can get your cars on the lot in 5 days or less. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
Hey, Mike, I just put again in the live chat. If you click on that link, you will go to my current podcast site. It's called Podbean. If you click there, you can get the podcast. Otherwise, I'm not on iTunes just yet. Just still cooking in the kitchen. And I'm working on it. Hopefully get there soon. I'll tell you what, so I piqued your interest. I got this video. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Check this out. Okay, so where was this, Ty? This is at the port at Freeport in Houston. I think that's right. This was on Facebook today.
This morning, this is where the line starts. I got here at 4:18 this morning. and I'll show you where I'm at. This is some crazy bullshit going on at the port of Freeport. It's making no sense anymore. The haulers, the transporters have to start charging for the time, not just picking up the cars and driving them down here safely. You gotta make your money worth that time, bro. Because right now, you'll be lucky if you could get 2 days in. Some guys at the end of this line at 8:15 are not gonna get into the port today. And the crazy thing about the port is at 11:45 they take a recess break. They go on a break and they don't come back till 1:10 or 1:05. So tell me, who takes a 1 hour 20-minute break? You see the line still going? Drivers, transporters, everybody's frustrated already. This is not working out, man. And then some shitty ass. This is where I'm at right here. I'll let you see my company name. Fuck that. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's frustrated. See guys just goofing and loafing around and hanging around, and you know, it's just crazy, bro. How do they expect us to survive with this? Can you see this? Some of us have bills to pay. Most of us don't. A lot of us have mortgages to pay. A lot of us have car notes, truck notes, vehicle insurance, truck commercial insurance. Just look at the line at 8:15 already. The guys down here, I bet you, and I kid you not, they probably not gonna go in today. So tell me, who comes to work at 8 o'clock, 8:15, and doesn't get to work? That's the shit we're facing out here at the port of Freeport. You see, it keeps going. It's going. It's going. Help us so we can help ourselves, man. Because I'll tell you, man, you see this? It's still going, bro. It is. For those who care, for those who don't care, for those who want to see, this is the line. These guys, they just need to forget it, man. These guys out here, they need to forget it. They need to forget it, man. And this is where the sorry line ends. And this is the port of Freeport. And ports, we're calling you guys out. You guys need to do a better job. Y'all need to do a better.
Okay, so excuse me. So yeah, Ty shared that with me. He saw that on Facebook today. And yeah, it makes my skin crawl. So let's see how many customers will pay extra. Correct. Meanwhile, yeah, the thing is, it's kind of, that's why I did the pizza delivery thing. And I wrote the pizza delivery thing before I even saw this video. But we know that in transportation, this is this kind of stuff that it just comes up. It happens. That it could have been an accident. There could have been, 3 minivan moms racing. Then they all crash and get piled up, and everybody, half the state loses a whole day of pay. Okay, that wasn't fair. But the point is that we don't think about what actually goes on. We just, as soon as we order our pizza, we're looking at our watch and wondering where the pizza is. And because of Amazon and everything else, I'm just saying, right? I don't know how we got to such tight timeline expectations. And I'm not saying it's going to stop. Yeah, but it's, thank you, Ty, for that video. Because it really brings the point home. And I don't know if in the telematics and the GPS and all that stuff. We need more videos of congestion and what guys are actually dealing with at security guard shacks and plants and rail yards. Oh, not to mention, right, the big auctions where you're walking around for days. Okay, you're not walking around for days, but it seems like it. And that's why technology like Mannheim Lot Vision is really, really helping people out. Okay. All right, I showed the video. Let's go on with the show. All right, Jay. All right, this is episode 180, Tuesday Nights Live, Carrier, Dealer, Remarketer. What is this show all about? Well, you know, I like to talk about the ecosystem. OEMs, auctions, dealers, shippers, services, brokers, carriers, equipment, regulations, loads, and more. And I try to identify, okay, this show is the connection. This is kind of like Cars on the Move again. Auctions, dealers, carriers, services, and then, yes, shippers, loads, equipment. Pretty hard to get away from all of it. But let's talk about who's going to be on the show tonight. Michele Pirog, she's in the live chat. We're really excited to have her. Michele, I think this is your first time live on Auto Transport Intel. Michele is with ParkMyFleet.com. She's in the strategy division. We're going to learn more about what that is, what ParkMyFleet.com is, and feel free to put it in the live chat. This goes for anybody. If you see information on the screen, you want to know more, or that's your information, share your link, share your contact info. Absolutely. This is what Auto Transport Intel Community is all about. Networking, answering questions. Paul Machine is on the show tonight. You know Paul Machine. He's in strategy at Black Book. Black Book, Paul, they've been on the show several times. Riding with the Repo Market was the most recent one. We had several guests in repossession along with Paul giving a presentation. There's a screenshot. Black Book Repo update on Auto Transport Intel. That was a great show. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. Mike Buchanan is here tonight. Mike Buchanan is with ARI. Now, Mike and ARI, Peter, also did a show here. It was a couple months ago, I think. ARI Fleet Management, and Black Book was on that show. So Paul and Mike already know each other from that show, and then here's a screenshot of that. Everybody's having a good time, sharing information. I'm dancing or something. I'm not sure. Tim Skatelis. No, it is not. It is Tim Scoutelis. Tim Scoutelis is on the show tonight. Tim is with Max Digital. Max Digital Data is a software solution for dealer. Ooh, the word strategic. Again, Michele's in strategy. Paul's in strategy. Tim's in strategy. This is going to be a great show. We're talking about a lot of strategy tonight, and that's where the melting block of ice comes from. Thank you so much, Tim. And Tim and Ty and Cars on the Move on Auto Transport Intel. There we are, just having a good old time talking about melting blocks of ice. And thanks for the tweet today, Tim. Tim sent out I guess he shared my tweet. And I was going to rhyme with sweet, but you know... and I want to thank Ty. Thank you, Ty, my buddy, my friend, my VP, Cars on the Move host, and he's also going to be on the show tonight. We got an incredible lineup. You know, Ty is the coach for the monthly roundtables, car shipping roundtable we just had. That was a great show. Boy, that was last Tuesday. Man, it seems like a long time ago already. 1 week ago. I think this one's from February. And, you know, where we talk to folks that are just getting in or folks that are recently in. We got some veterans, and we mix it up. We talk about carriers. You know, on this show, we talk about back of the store, front of the store. We mix it all together because if you're in the transport parking lot, man, I don't know, walk up front. Find out what the sales guy's talking about, because I'll tell you what, the sales guy definitely is looking at his watch when that thing starts to melt. It's the year of the hybrid. Digital meets physical and everything in between, and we talk about it. And we also talk about unicorn land of transport. Good, fast, cheap. Can you have all three? Okay, maybe you got lucky that week. You got good, fast, and cheap. Is that the new, have you set the new standard? Do you expect good, fast, cheap every week? Don't do that to yourself. Here's a guy. This was sent, oh, John, thank you so much. John sent me this. John at Finest Towing and Recovery. So I think the straps, I think he strapped the street He's strapping the street logistics. Ty likes to say there's 3 reasons to join our car shipping roundtable. You want to get in, you're in, but you got a problem, or you want to grow your business. Which one are you falling into? And if so, you should join us. Do you want to promote your business? I think this is Ocean Roads Transport. Sean sent me a couple shots of there's the dog, right? So we've got without dog and with dog. Thank you, Sean. No, do you need to ship a car? Share it on Auto Transport Intel. Yes, Ocean Roads Transport. Contact information. Just send it in. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I'd be happy to share your information because this is what we're seeing a lot of, right? An actual vehicle on an actual flatbed at an actual location. Or on Instagram. Did you know you can sell cars on Instagram? No, but you can post it. I just find that really interesting. There it is. There's the lane, year, make, model, the, what do you call that? That point value of the condition report? It's a 4.3. It's on Instagram. Sold! Anyways, good chap feast. You can have good and cheap, but it won't be fast. Fast and good, but it won't be cheap and fast, but it won't be good. You know, let's talk about it. I found this on, I was surfing. So this was on cars.com. This guy says, I bought a 2021 Hyundai Veloster N. And what did he have to say about an easy purchase process? His experience, not so much. Hyundai requires paper contracts, and that process had to be repeated twice. And if that wasn't annoying enough, these are the words of the customer. That's what makes it such gold. If it wasn't annoying enough, at some point between the process of 2 contracts, I found a car sitting in my home's parking spot. The dealership found a shipping company at a very reasonable cost to me, and my car was loaded on a car carrier and trucked out. But it arrived without any license plates or documentation. I essentially had a very expensive placeholder for my parking spot. Interesting, right? Because many carriers right now be like, yeah, and? Well, this is good to know. And there are companies that know, right? They do storage, cleaning, maintenance, title and registration. Be careful what you tell the customer because, man, they will take to the internet the registration and license plates which were shipped from Illinois to North Carolina and then back to me, and on it goes. Not happy. Easy to not be happy. So again, don't go to unicorn land. Not when you're dealing with actual pickup and actual delivery. There's plenty of information out there. Slashgear.com, online car buying sites. Found this interesting because really this whole section was about delivery. Carvana, Edmunds, CarMax, AutoTrader, Vroom, Auto Tempest, Cars Direct. Not anywhere. And then I got an even longer list than that after this. It is how you get your car shipping news because we're talking about the ecosystem. We do this every Tuesday night. We try to go in depth. We try to move it around. Are you ready? Are you a car shipping guru? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get your buzzers ready. I'm going to pull up my... I got my handy dandy game show effects. You guys ready? By the way, Dispatch Center is working towards getting to 5,000 carriers, 5,000 loads by June 1st, 2021. It's only 3 months away. Dispatch Center, go to dispatchcenter.com, log in, put it up on the big screen. This is the Car Should Be Business channel. Here we go. Okay. How many Pilot Flying J locations are in North America? And there's the link in the live chat. There it is. Click on dispatchcenter.com, ask Larry. Go ahead and click on that and you can submit your answers. Ready? Here we go. Fingers on the buzzers. What is the most appropriate rate to the carrier to ship an F-250 Super Duty from Portland, Maine to Pittsburgh, PA? Oh, and there's Mark. He's in there ringing the cowbell. What's up, Mark? Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much for the super chat, for ringing the cowbell and for generating these intense questions. This is awesome. Thank you so, Mark. Thank you so, Mark. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's do another one. Which of the following does not impact transport price? Size, color, condition, or shipping date? Here we go. We got two more. Get ready. What is the most appropriate rate to the carrier to ship a 2019 Honda Civic from Duluth, Georgia to Wyandotte, Michigan? I just want to say this rocks. This is awesome. All right, here we go. We got one more. What was the best-selling car in the U.S. in 2020? Paul, you nailed it. Paul is the winner. Color is the most important factor when shipping a vehicle. All right, thanks everybody. That was really, really cool. And I really thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for playing. Be sure to go to dispatchcenter.com/Ask Larry. Submit your responses because you can win a Dispatch Center hat. I have two of them. That's right. I think it's the first 5. Do it. Go to dispatchcenter.com. Even if you don't play the game, go ahead and log in. It's a load board. It's a TMS, mobile app, etc. Okay, let's move on. That was great. Thank you so much, Mark. Do it. Go to autotransportintel.com. Click on sign up. Become an ATI insider. And you know what? Here's what time it is. It is time for a quick ELD punch break. We're going to be right back after this with more news. Stick around.
Hey, it's Ty, transport guy. Hanging out in the transport parking lot always. If you want to learn to grow your business, I think you should probably go to ATI Insider, sign up for free. Don't give anybody any money. And with that, you get, I think you get a 20-minute phone call, which usually turns into a little longer than that. You get to join the roundtable, which is once a month. And at the roundtable, what we do is we get pretty detailed about how to build your business, how to connect with dealers, how to connect with auctions, how to build a lane. If you're new, if you saw a YouTube video and says, I can make $1 million in a week and I want to get into car hauling, Ty, and maybe you own a Stinger, maybe you own a little rollback. Man, how do I figure this out? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? What do I need? How do I do it? You get to make relationships with other carriers. It's kind of not a one-size-fits-all. It's here a little bit about you. Go to the ATI Insider. Get signed up. I can help you. I really can.
And I'm going to put in here for Paul, because Paul is just, man, he's answering away. There it is. So there's the link. Go to dispatchcenter.com/Ask Larry and play the game. I know you can do it. I know you want that hat. I know you do want Paul. Do you want it? Paul Meyer. So thank you so much. And also there's the information. If you need to talk to Ty, you know that you fit into one of those 3. You are new and you want to get in, you are in and you got a problem, or you want to grow your business, talk to Ty. The information is right there in the live chat. Okay, so let's do this. It is now time. Let's do some hard news. Okay, I want to tell you this. This is kind of interesting, and I recommend it. I was at Automotive News. I started there this morning, and I listened to the Daily Drive podcast with Car Global's new CEO, Peter Kelly. And it was a great podcast. You want to check this out. I think, it's like 20-something minutes. And Peter Kelly was talking about Car Global, but he started with talking about his roots in open lane. I believe he said he was in Northern California, and he and some colleagues, they started up open lane, and then he went on to continue to talk about, this is what we're seeing in the news, right? Trade rev and backlot cars. Now, backlot cars it's dominating their online platform as far as in the U.S. In Canada, it's still trade rev because backlot cars did not have a presence in Canada. But apparently it's just doing great for them, and they're really excited to talk about their online auction marketplace with backlot cars in the U.S. I also spend a lot of time on learning more about the car course units. Now, you go to IARA, right? And Michele can tell you more about this. Go to IARA.biz and you can learn more about the car certification program. I've always wanted to know more about it. So it covers remarketing channels, pre-sale auction activities, actual sale, there's that word again, post-sale activities, and then legal ethics and terminology. It's 20 courses, and I was going through with a fine-tooth comb. We'll talk more about that, but there's a lot here, and it's neat to see. It's an intersection of the full marketplace. Also, to help me with the, if I had any questions, I found this. If you go to NAAA.com, that's the, darn it, National Automotive, what does that stand for? NAA, I don't know everything. National Auto Auction Association. Some would say very little. But if you go to NAAA.com, you can click on, there's this whole section all about auctions, chapters 1 through 8. And chapter 8 is a glossary of terms. Amazing stuff. I was up there, so I'm listening to Peter Kelly. I'm learning about car. I'm up on NAAA. And then I was looking at other news items. You know, Max Digital is talking about how they're teaming up with Google. Wow, thank you so much. Chris Chamberlain is in here. Oh, look, there it is. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the invite to the roundtable. Great info from good people. Thank you, Chris. We really appreciate that. That means a lot. So Max Digital, and Tim's going to be on the show. If you have any questions about Max Digital teaming up with Google, this would be a great time to ask about that. Of course, Black Book constantly sharing great information. This was information about the Used Vehicle Retention Index. We see tremendous strength of used car prices. Yes, amen to that. Fueled by a shortage of inventory at the wholesale market. By the way, I was thinking about this too. When you think about, right, the inability to use public transportation as usual. So you've got, right, the automakers, they're down on inventory. The need to have your own personal transportation, and so many other factors. The repossession moratorium. It is amazing then to look at all the analytics. So Black Book, thanks for everything you guys do. Here's another news story. With LMP closing first wave of purchases, public dealer group space grows. Really? Yeah. So for the first time in more than 15 years, there's a new public franchised dealership group. The changes just keep on coming. You know, Vroom is the talk of the town, yet Q4 net loss. But that's going to be okay. Just go ahead and, you know, check in with some of the predecessors. If you kill it, you know, we see this. If you can kill it in marketing, just hang on. Hang on for the ride, because you seem to, you're going to get there, man. Vroom with their Super Bowl ad constantly being talked about. Why do dealers need APIs in real time? Great question. Another piece of information from Black Book. Now here's another one from NAAA. Okay, National Auto Auction Association. A wholesale auto remarketing process overview. Consumer, lender, rental, fleet, dealer, insurer, ends up at the auction, then gets sold, franchise dealer, independent dealer, buy here, pay here, salvage. This is a pretty sweet flowchart. America's Auto Auction, just a reminder of safety, face masks, social distancing. Just a reminder. Auto rental market to witness stunning growth. I saw this today. I thought, now that's interesting. That's not a headline we've heard for a while. But I guess, right, since it's been compacted, yes, yeah, that actually makes sense. Here's an interesting headline. Volvo dealers on edge over digital retail plan for EVs. Retailers say they're concerned and fearful about where they stand in a digital-only sales future, because Volvo they announced that for their EVs, they're only going to sell it from their online retailing site. So then the dealer's saying, well, wait a minute. Okay, here it is. The automaker last week announced plans to move to an online-only, fixed-price sales model for its expanding fleet of battery-powered models. Retailers are concerned and fearful. Dealers always want to control the customer experience from start to finish. That makes sense. And then Volvo Car USA. Well, wait, hold on. Dealers will continue to sell the vehicles and maintain the customer relationship. I know right now Ty is going, really? Yeah, exactly. Right. It's very interesting. Hey, Delta Auto Transport, thank you so much. New to ATI, thanks for all the hard work. We are based in the PNW. Thank you so much for saying hello and for that live chat. That means a lot. Just interesting. A U.S. lawmaker is introducing bill to give USPS $6 billion for electric delivery vehicles. The contract, which could be worth more than $6 billion, allows for delivery between 50,000 and 165,000 of the vehicles over 10 years. So right now, let's see, if I'm working at a fleet, I'll be like, okay, so he said, let's see, carry the one, USPS, $6 billion. Give them a call. In January, President Joe Biden vowed to replace the U.S. government's fleet of roughly 650,000 vehicles with electric models. Right? Saw that? Wait a minute. What was that number? 650,000 vehicles? Man, we've been doing a lot of spending. It's notable. Okay. That's a lot of stuff to transport. Because remember, who doesn't remember all the money that was made transporting the Amazon vans everywhere? And now there's, talk of upgrading that fleet and other fleets. That's a lot of business. Hopefully that stuff's not going to the port. Park My Fleet. What are the benefits for fleet operators making the decision to mix AC and DC charging stations? I got to tell you, I don't work in electricity, and I hadn't thought about the difference of an AC and a DC charging station. So I'm just pointing that out. That is really interesting stuff. Can't wait to learn more about it, because it's going to be an EV future, and we're going to need to know. Speaking of, saw this on LinkedIn today, Automotive EV Live. I joined the community today. There's a panel. So Dennis Manns, Ty and I got to meet Dennis at an automotive logistics event in the past, and he's the moderator. Yep. He's with North Motors Group, and this is tomorrow. No, this isn't tomorrow. This is Thursday. And so 4:30 p.m. Greenwich time, subtract 6 hours, so that's 10:30 Central, Thursday. It's an EV panel, ports and terminals preparing for the future. Check it out. Find it on LinkedIn. If you can't find it, look up Dennis Manns, Automotive EV. So that sounds really interesting. I do want to mention, to give a shout out, this was 2 weeks ago, the Plateau Load Exchange show. That was an amazing show where it really exemplifies one of the things that we talk about on Auto Transport Intel constantly is, looking, first you got to identify the full ecosystem, and then we need to start to figure out how to work together. And I really do like the Plateau Load Exchange. Sounds very interesting. Kudos to Aaron and Cameron for sharing the great news. Guys, I'm live 4 times a week. Tuesday Nights Live is the flagship. This is the warm-up, right? Going live 4 times a week. We will be live second time the week, DOT compliance. That's where we talk about everything DOT, all that boring anagram stuff. FMCSA, ELD, DOT, IRP, IFTA, MC Authority, and US DOT, and Form 2290. So we're going to be starting late tomorrow. We're going to start at 1:30 Central Time tomorrow, because Brian Riker, your DOT guy, he's at a conference. And so we've got to work around those things. But then on Thursday, back for load board search advice with Dispatching Live. Sue is my co-host, Sue from Murphy Auto Transport. And then, of course, we round out the week, Friday, Cars on the Move, dealers, auctions, and carriers. Ty's on the show tonight. He can tell you all about it. And we had a great interview with Transwest Trailers. That was a great show. Man, good job on that, Ty. Next Tuesday night is Holly Pro with United Road. That's going to be incredible. Really looking forward to that. And then in 2 weeks, we've got IARA. Michele will be back. with the IARA team, Paul, Tony, and David. That's going to be an amazing show. Now, don't miss it. March 18th, mark your calendars. That is in 9 days. So a week from Thursday, March 18th is the 2021 IARA Virtual Online Conference. And it just so happens that yours truly, I'm going to be moderating the Transportation and Logistics panel. We got Joe from Mannheim, Adam from Acertus, Ray from United Road, and Eric from Vroom. That starts at 3:50 Eastern Time. So if you want to tune into that, go to iara.biz. And now you got this. There's a cost. It's not that expensive, though, but there is a cost. Go there. Go sign up. If you got questions, Michelle's going to be on the show tonight. And this is the Car Shipping Business Channel. And so, yeah, I think I'm properly warmed up now. I've only been talking for 45 minutes, so I think I'm getting warmed up. Here's what I want to do. I'll tell you what. I want to do, guys, hang on, 10 more minutes before we start the panel. I want to do a quick highway of links. I'm going to shorten it to 5. So, guys, we're going to be right back. Stick around.
SuperFlo Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geo-located pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
That is Dispatch Center, SuperFlo Systems. You've got the links in the live chat. Mark is also in the live chat if you've got a question. But really, number one thing to do, go to dispatchcenter.com. Either log in or sign up and find out how you can use it to your advantage. Stay loaded, look for loads. It's also a TMS and mobile app. If you have any questions, let us know. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a speed round. Okay. We're going to do a super speedy speed round of the ATI Information Superhighway, the auto remarketing universe. I don't have it all here, but I have a lot of it. All right, so ADESA, right? Go to ADESA.com. And what I did, too, is I went to go to ADESA.com. Okay, how do you find the transportation, right? Okay, so you can go down here, find out what they do, find out who's in there. Ooh, post-sale services. Bang, go down to, oh, here we go. Cars Arrive Network, found it. Next. Okay, so go to Mannheim. Okay, mymannheim.com. Logistics, right? So what I did is I think I went to mymannheim.com, and I think I scrolled down. You see the suite of their solutions, client success stories. Oh, and then you go, yeah, for logistics, go to Ready Logistics. Next, okay. If you go to IAAI.com, now this is a salvage auction, right? Not ADESA, not Mannheim, the other side, Salvage. You can go here. Now, I don't know if you can connect to a transportation company, but you can buy salvage inventory. All right, next. Go to AutoBidmaster.com. This is where Copart is connected to the online. By the way, these are all, right? These are all online digital auction sites. Okay, there's a lot of tabs. Oh, you can't see all the tabs? Let's just go ahead and boom. Okay, so AutoBidmaster.com, that's where you can go with Copart. Next, okay, if you want to, you can go to AutoIMS. They're connecting 1,200 plus consigners and 700 member auctions to streamline remarketing. Okay, next, you could go to Meekum.com. Right? Meekum. Okay, you're a car collector. You're looking for something really nice. Go to Meekum. And I wonder, do they connect to reliable transportation? Maybe. Was a lot of information. I don't see it. Next. Okay, go to acvauctions.com. Yes, ACV. Well, no, we've heard of ACV, online auctions. And you need to find transportation. Well, that's all right. ATI has a Facebook page. Next, doorway page. Okay, backlotcars.com. Right, this is part of Car Global, but you still go to Backlot Cars because I guess that's the name. It's known. It's the process. A lot of dealers are really happy with it. Go to eblock.com. You can go to eblock.com, and then they've got a list of their auctions, and that's okay. So if you're with Americas or Digital or McConkey Group or First Choice, you might be connected to eBlock. Okay, next, edgepipeline.com, independent auto auctions online. Edge Pipeline also working with independent auto auctions. I don't know if it's I don't think it's the same ones. We're going to find out. ServNet. Go to servnetauctions.com. More independent auto auctions. Next, you could go to magauctions.com direct, although they're a part of Edge Pipeline. Oh, they are part of Edge Pipeline, and they were listed on eBlock. Next. Okay, so how about CarvanaAccess.com? You go to CarvanaAccess.com. Now, we know they've got their own load board. Wait a minute. And they sell... So, wait, they do retail, wholesale, and transportation? Next. Okay, let's go to CarMax. Go to CarMaxAuctions.com, right? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait, they do retail, wholesale, and transportation, too? Okay, next. Let's go to PenskeCars.com. Okay, wait a minute. They do... Okay, so they've got online auctions. Is it... Wait, wholesale, retail... Okay, go to oneauctionview.com. Wait a minute, because I got so many sites to manage. I'm just going to go to oneauctionview.com and take care of it in all in one interface. Got to find out more from Sky about that again. Okay, next, let's go to IARA.biz. We talked about that. I think we've come out of the auctions. Okay, gotcha. We'll go to NAAA.com. We've got ARIFleet.com on the show tonight. We got Blackbook.com on the show tonight. We got MaxDigital.com on the show tonight. There's a lot to talk about. So thank you guys so much for being a part of the Auto Transport Intel Tuesday night's live experience. It's part university, part game show, and part just, total craziness. So I'm so glad that you're with us here tonight. I'll tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I got through that pretty quick. So Paul, Michele, Tim, Mike, and Ty, get your buzzers ready because you're up next. So here right after this, we'll be talking to you. Can't wait to do this. Stick around. We'll be right back. So they do like weekly market insights, and it's intense. Check this out. COVID-19 market insights for October 20. So this came out a few days ago, and you can download the PDF. I recommend that. Download a copy of the report. Click there. Get your own copy. 23 pages. 23-page in-depth analysis of what's going on in the automotive market. I mean, it's got a table of contents. It's insane. So,
this is like gold bars, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. I'm starting to salivate.
It just keeps going. New, used, cars, trucks, you name it. Year over year auction. Like what Phil was talking about? Yeah. The MMR? Yeah. Go ahead and, Phil, you're going to want to download that 23-page PDF and try to, get some more of that information. So Black Book is going to be on the show Tuesday night. We're going to do the first market update on Auto Transport Intel with Black Book Tuesday night. Okay, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel, everybody. Mic check 1, 2, 3. The audio's still okay, the video's okay, good. All right, good. So we're halfway through. If you made it this far, congratulations, because we are now about to start the panel discussion. Tonight's panel discussion, the main purpose is we're going to talk about the intersection and integration of carriers, dealers, remarketers with respect to buyers, sellers, wholesale, remarketing, software, dealer process, auto transport, reconditioning. We're even going to answer some questions. If you've got basic questions, this is a great opportunity because, listen, if you're normally mostly in the carrier world, especially if you're a driver or a dispatcher or specific job function, right? And you've got questions for dealers, for auctions, what's remarketing, what's reconditioning. All of that is available to you tonight. They're still joining in. I've almost got everybody here. And if I think I misclicked a button, by the way. Let's see here. Let's just double check. Oh, okay. No, I don't think I misclicked. Oh, there we go. Okay, so then we got one more joining, and we're almost there. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for saying hello in the live chat, sharing thoughts. We've got, let's see, what do we got? Oh, John Lyric is here. What's up, John Lyric? 10-4. Good buddy. Thank you so much, John, for joining us for Car Shipping Roundtable. That was last Tuesday night. Delta Auto Transport, anyone based in the PNW. Okay, so questions happening there. And I think, let's see, who are we? Oh, we got Mike Buchanan still coming in. Okay, so let's see if he's got his invite. Coco is, John's cat is listening to Auto Transport Intel right now. That is awesome. All right. Oh, here comes Mike. Okay, and that is the final ding of the doorbell, as they say. So, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this we're going to go from upper left, across and down. I'm going to start with Paul Machine. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, sir. Looking forward to the panel discussion and see what we learn about what's happening already in 2021.
Awesome. It's going to be it's a bit experimental, but I think it's going to be fun. Next up, Ty Thompson, Cars on the Move. Ty, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jay. Happy to be here.
Thanks for your activity in the live chat and your enthusiasm, because I can't do it all. I try though.
I don't know how you do what you do. I'm still trying to figure that out. Oh, wow.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. That calls for a ding of the bell. Tim,
wait, got one problem.
Yeah.
I forgot.
What?
Our buddy Delta did you a super chat, and I didn't hear a cowbell. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
really.
know, at least here we go. Thank you, Delta, so much. You know, at least once a show, I forget something. So I'm sorry, Delta. Thank you so much for your contribution. Good call, Ty. I appreciate that. And at any point, if I have forgotten something, if I have misspoke, yes, please clarify, because I'm just the host. I'm not the, proctor. Hey, Tim Scatalis from Max Digital, welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. Thanks so much for joining us.
Jay, there's no place I'd rather be after almost 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night than with you guys.
Well, that warms the heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was just amazing. Michele Pirog from Park My Fleet, first time caller, long time listener on the Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to join the conversation.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You're in for a real treat, as you can tell. Like, what have I got myself into? And finally, listen, Mike Buchanan. Thank you so much, Mike. You were nice enough to join us at the last minute. I really, really appreciate that.
No, Jay, thank you very much for allowing me to be on here. And just to comment on Tim, at least I'm in Mountain Time. So the only reason I'm on here is because I got 2 hours on you guys. Yeah. So yeah, the least I could do for you guys.
Right, exactly. We got Eastern, Central, Eastern, Mountain.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, so then we really will. We're at 8:59. Perfect. So we're at 1 hour, because originally it was like 80 minutes, an 80-minute panel. That's why I added. But what'd you think of all that long list of links I just went through?
Great. Good.
Yeah?
Very impressed.
It's very compelling.
It wasn't too much?
Nope.
No. I mean, listen, there's so much going on right now. That just proves the point that, activity will you'll drum up something, some business somehow, some way by just getting out there, making something happen. And you prove the point. Just go back. There's your next commercial for your show, Jay. Is that little run through of all those stuff.
And I don't envy the buyers having to go to all those sites to try to figure out where to buy cars and source cars. Boy, have times changed for everybody, but considerably for the buyers who are trying to just figure out the best way to source their vehicles. So kudos to them. And of course, all the trucking companies, because they're really the heroes of all this transformation and transition that we've gone through in the last year.
What I want to know though is, Jay, can someone, I'm the dealer. I don't deal with the port. Maybe Ty, what is that? What's with the port? All those cars are leaving the country? That's a little disturbing if I'm a dealer to see that.
We need to have Candy on. She's our Jacksport in Florida, Jacksonville. She can tell us exactly what that is. I've never gone to a port, and I'll probably never go to a port, especially after watching that video. But yeah, that's what happens. It's a lot of, from talking to Candy, what I understand, there are a lot of people from different countries that buy cars or have buyers in the U.S. and they're in charge of getting some carrier guy. Hopefully he knows what he's doing. Not most of the time. He goes to the port. He's got to have this special, they call it a TWIC card. You have to have this TWIC card just to get into the port. I don't even know what that's about. But anyway, the whole thing is so people buy cars in America and they ship them to different countries. And it makes zero sense to me. But who had the article, Jay? Somebody had the art. Oh, it was our buddy J.D. Mickle. Remember, he had to instead of salvaging them here in the U.S., ship them somewhere else. Remember that one? Anybody see that?
Yes. I think that was Egypt, maybe. There's some countries that have, right? You probably hear about. I found that I don't know anything about the different rules of where you can go, and I don't know, Paul. It seemed like maybe do you know some of that stuff?
I have recently assisted 3 new startups to export vehicles internationally, and they need VIN data because what they're finding is that the accuracy of a vehicle description as it goes into another country from the U.S., their buyers will pay more money for those vehicles.
And so I always knew that cars were being exported out of the country. That's nothing new to this industry. I guess I never realized, is that video just showing that there were some problems at the port? There's a slowdown due to COVID? Is there an increase in exports? That's my question.
Oh.
And I like your question because that's the thing. We're completely speculating about why it's like that. But what I do know is that when I'm on a load board, what I didn't show is, well, you can see it on Thursdays. If you want to see the madness of what it's like to book, I think did you see that?
I popped in on a Thursday.
It's just crazy.
We talked about it, remember? God
nuts.
Bless you guys.
That's right. You were talking about it. So every time I call to book a load and I find out that it's going to the port.
Yeah, after that video, for sure.
And it's right, because here's the thing, even if there is no line, which I don't know if that ever happens, but you've got to have like 7 copies of each doc receipt. I mean, I don't know, you got to have the TWIC card. It's a Homeland Security thing. And then, like the guy on the video said, everybody goes to lunch at 11:45 for an hour and a half. It is not the melting block of ice that we're talking about.
Clearly, there's some money to be made if those guys can sit around with those cars that long. Somebody's making some money. So.
Carrier.
Yeah,
not the carriers.
No, it ain't the carrier. I want to mention, so Michele, I spent a long time on the CAR 20 course list today. And I wanted to talk about that a bit. Let's see here. It is here. And let me bring up us. Okay. So I clicked on become CAR certified, car certified.
Right. Certified Automotive Remarketer.
And
car
so,
means.
yeah, tell me more about, because this seems to really be a really great overview. There was a ton of information here.
Sure. Well, it's 20 modules. It's a pretty broad look at the remarketing industry from a number of different verticals, I guess you'd say. It talks about things from the auction point of view, from the finance or consignor's point of view, just different terminology. It's just kind of a broad understanding of what remarketing is in the industry, primarily wholesale.
Okay, right, primarily wholesale. Here's one for you. What is a driver and what's an employee? I didn't know. Is a driver
Well, you really put me on the spot here because you want me to know all
owner?
the please.
It's tough, right? And I apologize for doing that. I'll tell you what, but I learned a lot.
That course is about selling to the lessee. So when you have a vehicle that comes off lease, there's a certain channel that you go through before you remarket the vehicle. Generally, you offer it back to an employee. It can go back to the dealership, or that it can be auctioned. So there's just a different manner in which you treat the life cycle of the vehicle, depending on if it's a repo, if it's a lease return, if it's a trade-in, and that's all part of the remarketing channel.
Right, and then you get into financing, you get into transportation, it even got into the minutia of what's going on in the lane, what's an if bid, what's an open sale, a closed sale. I found it so informative that, that's actually why I love doing this channel, is to share all this information, because just that 5 minutes they're talking about delivery to the port and then exporting it may seem like minutia, but that's still, to some folks, that's a whole lifetime of work.
For 30 years, and you might not know that particular piece. There's just so many different pieces about the environment, and like you said, it's just the whole environment, and it just reaches so many different avenues that you can't know them all. So it's great to have something like this where we can learn from each other, and we can help each other and collaborate.
Paul said something really interesting in our prep. Okay, I've got my notes here, so there will be a quiz. Okay, okay. So Black Book is processing over 1 billion VINs a month.
Correct.
That's amazing,
isn't it?
Is that a B?
B.
Oh.
Billion a month.
Dang.
Well, you factor in, we're getting the VINs processed from all the auctions, DMS systems, inventory management tools, insurance companies, salvage yards, then copious amounts of handheld devices that are in the marketplace, the websites that are using our data to book vehicles out for listing purposes, and as well as for valuations. And it goes on and on. We'll see one VIN number from sold at auction all the way through its life cycle to delivered in the customer's driveway. We'll see that same VIN being verified about 7 to 9 times.
And so on to that point, because then I start to think about one of the things that was neat about today, doing all this research, is I was thinking a lot about the March 18 Transportation and Logistics panel. And given that amount of VINs and that repetitive seeing it, what do you think some of the improvements that are headed down the pipe through technology the companies are looking forward to seeing happen to help with timeline and with the melting block of ice?
Condition is is one that I'm being asked a lot about. How can I get the condition report from the auction and have that flow through the rest of the process to make condition assessments easier as it hits the dealership, so that the dealer doesn't have to actually go through a complete condition report. They actually understand the condition of the vehicle before they get it. And then when that vehicle, and pictures too, there are conversations on how in depth of pictures can you get on a used vehicle, especially. So we all know what a car looks like when it comes off the line. But what is that life cycle of the vehicle? how accurate can we get pictures to show through the history of this transition from point A to point B to point C, and what does that repository look like? We also we get asked a lot about tag and title. How can we improve the accuracy of tag and title? That's not us really. That's more of a DMV. That's a government regulatory issue, and it's broken down by state. But that's also a need that that can be improved upon.
What I'd like to know from all of you that are part of the carrier world is how are things different now that after COVID, the adoption of digital was just accelerated so much for consumers and for wholesale. You know, everyone's clicking and swiping and expecting everything to just show up at their door, like Jay had talked about earlier, the pizza. How is that changing what you're doing? Are you using more of a hub and spoke model where you're marshaling vehicles in one place so that then you can get full loads? I mean, how has that changed how your day-to-day goes?
That'd be your tie question, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is a tie. Yeah, tie, jump right in.
Anybody
I see you
else?
jumping right in,
Please
just hugging
do,
that
Ty.
topic,
I'm saying whoever
rolling
wants to
around.
answer. I want to know how it's working, because everyone thinks this stuff just shows up, and we know what's really going on behind the scenes is that there's a lot of work going on back there. And how has it changed for you?
Well, I've got rid of all my trucks, but I talk to people that have trucks every day, a lot of people. So to answer the question, you can't, to me anyway, I can't just say, oh, it's really made it hard or bad or good, because in this world we have, just like today, that port video. I've never done that. Then we've got what we call the POV world, right? So that's the snowbirds and moving the kids to college back and forth, which I'm sure those guys have probably really had to deal with it, in my opinion,
Yes.
probably worse than anybody, because you got people that are freaked out, right? Where I live, which is used car space, so auction to dealer, dealer to auction, no change. I mean, you might catch a little lip at the guard shack, let us take your temperature, and car haulers, they don't care. I mean, they roll around and drink hydraulic fluid when they're thirsty. So, COVID's not going to hurt these guys, including myself. So those guys don't care. OEM, I think they've had to probably deal with it probably a lot more than we have, because OEM probably throws a lot of requirements on the carriers. So as a whole, try to answer your question as best I can, I would say you're probably looking, Jay, maybe like a 50% of the carrier transport has probably had to make a lot of adjustments, whereas the other 50% probably just keep doing business like they have been.
And I think you're right. I mean, I think in general, when we ask, like, let's say on any of my shows, when if I said, hey, who wants to talk about how COVID changed what you do? Crickets. Nobody. I mean,
you might hear, like, we had John Larrick on
weird,
last week, and
right.
he made some interesting points about providing the drivers with some certain things and doing, but I really think, because the way I operate, okay, even if you have a fleet of 100 trucks, everybody's still pretty much independent on their own, minding their own business, doing their own thing, not coming in contact with a lot of people. Go into the auction, get what you need. How many people have touched that car? Well, probably not a lot. If you go into a Mannheimer in Odessa, probably nobody's touched it. But if you go to the other auctions where they're actually open.
Well, that's the thing, is that I think probably over half of all transportation doesn't deal with the end customer, right? The guy that's picking up 9 and delivering 9. So there's COVID. I got to worry about myself maybe, but that's about it. Because that dealer, right, or reconditioning location or wherever, they're going to prepare the car for the end delivery, and then it's those, and that's where the startups and companies like Sweetie Boy Delivers and Draver, they're the ones taking on, how do we make it clean?
Right.
Does that answer the question at all?
Yeah.
A little bit?
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
Let me ask
A little bit.
Michelle asked the question.
Yeah, I think so. So you're saying that it's changed mostly for the retail buyer and the retail transaction than for the wholesale, which that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So like what guys like me, here's what we like. We don't like, but we touch the repo, the lease, the wholesale, whether that's a trade-in or old inventory. That's pretty much what, because when I'm talking to a guy who wants to get in car hauling, here's what I say. If you want to live with the classes, sell to the masses. Where's the mass? The mass to me is in the used cars, right? How many used, Paul's here. Paul, how many used cars were sold in the United States in 2020?
Close to 40 million.
Right. New, not so much. In the new, you know, I get calls. People always want to come in and they want to haul new cars. Well, good luck with that because you got to have a contract. And to get to the place where you got to have a contract, you have to have a lot of trucks or have access to a lot of carriers. So, and then you need to really know what you're doing when you bid that stuff. And that's not my world either. So I like to live with the classes. I'm going to sell to the masses. To me, the volume's in the used. Now we've got chip shortage. We've got COVID problems. Everybody's afraid. Everybody wants to go to EV and online, which is great. But my take is, and I'm still waiting for somebody just to reach through the screen and slap me and say, Ty, you're wrong. But my take is that a dealer has primarily 3 auctions he goes to frequents, whether that's online, physically, or sends a buyer on a regular basis. Anybody want to slap me?
Nope. No, that's pretty accurate.
So if that guy's going to the same place every week, every month, every year, it shouldn't be that complicated, right? I mean, he buys cars and he calls Ty, and Ty picks them up and takes them back to the store, and the store sells them. So having that relationship with that dealer enables us to probably get by with a lot of stuff that maybe other people might freak out about. Is that fair?
I pulled up this article for you, Ty. This guy at Accelerate Group, a used car auto auction company. And he's not on that long list of tabs that I had. But what he was talking about was that for his money, being at the physical auction is what it's all about. Only 30%, he said, only 30% of dealers, or rather, of the online auction sales, it was 30%. 70 were at the physical auction, and here's why. We can close the deal. And it's interesting, surprises on the condition report. Oh, I can't highlight it. You just said it, Paul. Surprises on the condition report was one of the reasons why you can't always just you just can't default to online, which is very interesting given that there is so much digital online. Right? Isn't that pretty wild? I mean, when you look at how much is being done and discussed and moving towards digital online, and then some of those, so like you said, getting better CRs, the accuracy of tag and title, it's really, really fascinating.
So I have some friends who work for some pretty big national retailers. We'll keep the name of the company a secret, but you might be able to figure out who they are. And they ran a test this past year in 2020 where they physically they were before this they were just relying on the CRs and they were tracking the comebacks, and they were pretty high. When I say a comeback, they'd buy the car, it'd show up, and there'd be a problem, and they'd have to deal with it with the auction. They said we're not doing that anymore. We're going to go physically look at every car before we buy it. And 2 things happened. One, they bought more cars for less money, and they had less comebacks. It's a lot more work for the dealer side to physically be there, but until, I guess the moral of the story is until we get the CR situation fixed at the auctions, and I don't think we have an auction person here online, but I'd love to know what they're doing. More cars will sell, and more cars will sell when you get better CRs. I know that there's a lot of cars that are going through today without CRs, and it's a big struggle for the dealers.
Yep.
So Tim, I'm going to add one thing from a condition report standpoint. At ARI, we make sure we get 2 condition reports per car. And sometimes it has to do with, hey, let's see how it shows up and let's get units de-identified, because we're dealing with a lot of fleets that have logos and some type of identification on it. Well, that verifies that the identification was completed, but it also double checks the work of the first condition report. And while, in a lot of our fleet vehicles, we're not looking for specific dents, these aren't frontline ready cars to begin with. When I saw that video about the about the port, I'm like, that's a whole truckload of ARI cars going out of the country. That's a whole truckload of ARI cars going out of the country, because they're a little bit edgier. So we're not nitpicking about the scratches and dents of a frontline ready car, but we're really making sure that, hey, was it valid, the actual damage that you're looking at? That frame damage that you found, is it actually frame damage? So we're having them double check their work. Is it accurate? Not 100%, but at least it puts two eyeballs on it.
What percentage of cars though are running through auctions though? There's sellers are forever going to send a car on the day of the sale, and it's not going to get a CR. It's going to roll through, and there's a lot of cars that you can still buy that way, right? I mean, yeah.
Absolutely. From a dealer standpoint, of course, they're dropping off cars depending on the auction sale day. So, of course, they're not going to have that condition report. And in some cases, they might be doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
From an ARI philosophy, and we have the ability to have dealer cars in our lane with our program called Third Party, we advise not to do that because we want that condition report. We also want the exposure on the virtual network. So as Jay, you ran through those auction sites, every single physical auction has a virtual auction or a simulcast attached to it. Those individuals that are either, unfortunately too scared to go or have a business model where they don't need to go to an auction, congratulations, they're looking at a condition report. And again, everybody that works for ARI, all of our remarketers, the individuals selling these units at auction, they're all on a computer as well. And they've been doing that since before this pandemic. So we understand how necessary a good condition report is. But Tim, as you mentioned, those dealers, the ones that are purposely not getting the condition report done, there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah, and I think to Mike's point, you're going to see a lot more of that because of the contraction of available supply of used vehicles. You're going to see a lot more of the older vehicles that they haven't sold that have a lot more problems getting passed off in the auctions, because right now people are paying gold for just about anything in the auction. I mean, that old expression, if it runs and even if it smokes, I'm going to bid it because I got to get it, right? I don't have it. So those dealers who can afford to offload those higher mileage, lower quality vehicles and take advantage of the bidding frenzy that's happening now, they're going to do that. And Mike, I recently had several conversations with fleet companies. I won't say who they are, but some fleet companies that are looking at the fact that they can't get their new car orders to replace their aging rental vehicles, right? So they're actually looking at they're analyzing their fleets and saying, these are the highest mileage, worst condition vehicles, and I can get this now in the market. I'm going to go ahead and blow it out, and then I'm going to bid. I'm going to compete against the dealer, and I'm going to bid for the lower mileage vehicles that are in the lane now, because I can't buy them. I can't get it new. So if I can get a lower mileage pre-owned vehicle to put back into my fleet for a rental fleet, then I'll be good. So I think we're going to see a lot more challenged quality vehicles in the market than normal.
Well said. And yes, we're even having those conversations. It's, we have a whole program within our Insights platform where clients can generate a list of underperforming fleet assets so they know how to cycle those. But on the other side, congratulations, if you didn't get your orders in, you're not getting new vehicles. So if you're in a fleet that requires a very specific asset type with a very specific upfit, you might not be getting orders this year. So we've had some tough conversations saying, hey, look, your allocation's gone. So I could only imagine some of the larger fleets that you have also been talking to, Paul, because I know your client list is absolutely massive. Well, there's going to be another huge gap of new vehicles that nobody's going to be able to get their hands on.
And that goes to the question at the beginning of the show, Jay. You kept talking about, you want good delivery, you want it fast, you want it cheap, but you can't get all three. And I think the market is going to adapt to that. They're going to want to pay better to get the more efficiency and the better quality. And it really, because if you just take a look at what we finished February with, we finished with the highest wholesale market retention that we've ever had, 130. We had a few points throughout February where we broke 130 on our wholesale market retention index, but the average was 130. What that suggests is that the wholesale market price is increasing, and it's increasing significantly on the mass. To Ty's point, I want to be where the used cars are, right? So the mass selling used vehicles, if you take those and combine all of those together, that's where the wholesale prices increase. But on the flip side of that, we also watch the retail market listings. More and more dealers, especially the larger groups, are one price listing. So it's easy to watch when we watch their listings every single day. What's the price movement? Is the inflection high? Is it low? Is it consistent? We're seeing that we analyze about 2 million of the data set that we look at every day. We found that there's very stable pricing on the retail side. So we have this dynamic where the wholesale market price is increased, but the retail pricing is not concurrent with it. So there's this compression for the used car dealer and the new car dealer.
Right. And so how does that affect transportation as well?
Bingo.
There you go.
Yeah. Because the only way a dealer can offset volume, compressed margin, is with volume. Right? So they've got to get that car faster. And who can they pay the most money to get the car the quickest and the safest? And they will find the transportation company that does that. Because that's really that's the dynamic that's being set up now. Is okay, if I can't sell as many vehicles, my margin's compressed, that means I got to get as many of my vehicles as I possibly can, quickly as I can. Once I buy it, I got to be able to have that thing sold even before it hits the lot. And then condition reports come in handy on that. I just bought this vehicle. Here's the condition report. Here are the pretty pictures that come with that condition report. And by the way, I'll have it here in 3 days. Sold. Let's do it again.
Part of the catch here with the auctions and the used cars and buying online, one of the catches that I think, I don't know the right word for it, but you can buy it's a post-sale inspection with a 7-day guarantee, maybe $150, $200 per copy, so per unit. And you got a 7-day, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can return it. If you get it within that 7 days, you find a problem because you paid for the post-sale
warranty. They're selling with a warranty, so yes.
So the auction's basically selling the car with a warranty, which, okay, now is when I think where it starts getting crazy, right? So, and this is where I don't understand technology and why we have online auctions, because this is where Paul, I can be in Kansas City, Missouri, and you can tell me the price of a 2015 Audi S4 with 80,000 miles on it in California, right? So if I'm a dealer and I sell Audis, and I know that you got them I can buy them in California for X, how are dealers factoring in the transportation costs? Then you take a guy like Tim, and Tim's telling you, man, it's costing you $66 a day for that car every day it's not on your lot. Then you've got, everybody else piling in. Then you finally do get it, and the CR's messed up. Well, here's one of the things I've been thinking about. The cars come from the fleet lease, right? They come from repos, and then we've got our trades and our old inventory. So the dealer has the trade in the old inventory, but if we could make a deal with the repo guys and the lease people, we're, as a carrier, you guys know this, we're taking pictures of the cars before we take them to the auction. Did you guys know that? Four Corners, the car haulers, before they load the car from the repo yard, they take pictures of all four corners. It gets to the auction takes it in the back room and goes through it, tire depth gauge, they put the oil, the pictures, they got it all. Way more comprehensive than us. But how come we can't marry these two together? Then when it is sold to the dealer and the dealer gets it back to his lot, he has access to the photos I took before I loaded it and got it to the auction. And then the auction's photos. Now, if there's a problem, I think we can figure out what the problem is, right?
Yep. And that's exactly what I've been asked last 2 weeks. It's 3 separate conversations on that right there. How can I follow the life cycle of that vehicle with pictures?
Follow the life of the car.
And so, because I love this, I keep asking, why for so many vehicles does it seem like the inspection is born when the transporter got there? If there's already information, if the transporter's already done an inspection, how come that doesn't enter into the overall information of the vehicle? It gets to the dealership, he goes, yeah, okay, cool, thanks for the inspection, the BOL trash or whatever, I don't know, but it doesn't stay with the car. Same
Right, there
vice
needs to be a
versa.
fabric over all of that.
Exactly, where's the fabric?
That entire flow and that entire life cycle of that vehicle. Because I think eventually what we're going to see is we're going to see dealers that are purchasing cars, whether it's on auction or online, and the vehicle's never even going to come to their dealership. It's going to get purchased. It's going to go somewhere where it's going to get turned from wholesale to retail. It's going to become retail ready, and then it's going to sell on the same platform, but just on their retail side. So I see a lot more of that, and I understand that a lot of people like to go to the physical auction, and I think that's great for specific vehicles. And I talked to a consignor the other day that said we only sell our cars at a physical auction because our type of cars are subprime or they're non-prime, and people have to look at those vehicles. But there are specific vehicles that you can use science and not art, and those are the vehicles that are still under warranty, or the salvage vehicles that you can kind of look at and say, what are these parts worth? Because that's all it is.
Right.
So those two levels are both, that's a science. You can buy those like a commodity. But the centerpiece there, what you're all talking about, the ones that you have to have more of an artful understanding, have some experience on how to go and make it a wholesale vehicle and what you need to do, what you need to add to it to make it retail. Well, that takes a little bit of both, I think. But I think that there is a play here for both physical and digital, and I'm sure that that's where we're turning to. And you can see with all the acquisitions that are out there between the car offer and car gurus. You have a vehicle sourcing company, and then you have a company that sells to retail, and that's how this life cycle is turning. Agree? Disagree? Feedback?
Yeah, no,
Well said.
That's perfect, Michelle.
Yeah.
I saw Tim laughing there. Tim, what were you getting ready to say?
As long as there's
Are you
car
laughing
dealers,
at me too?
as long as there are car dealers in this world, franchise car dealers in this world, I'm a person who, I will tell you, I believe we need to move to a place where you're talking about, Michelle, 100%. I just don't see it. Because a 3 in my eyes is not a 3 in that guy's eyes. And even if it is, he's going to
Right
argue.
about that.
Mhm.
The condition report consistency has been a cry from the industry for ever since I can remember. And I've been in auto auctions for 20 years. And for some reason, a CR at one place is a little bit different than somewhere else.
Yeah. But the good
But I
news
think
is
it's getting better. It's getting much better.
this
The
environment.
pictures are better.
This
Absolutely.
environment is pushing that line, is pushing that technology. I'm glad we're getting there. I think we'll get better. Eventually the next generation of car dealers, owners. But you saw it when Jay read the article. Every time I hear an article about an OEM wanting to sell inventory direct, like Tesla, that's
Okay. I wanted to say the same thing. Okay, so just as with the factors that Paul raised, where you've got the compression of the margin of profitability, and in that compression, you still have all these brokers, transporters, a series of middlemen. As far as the driver's concerned, it's all middlemen. Okay. Same thing here with an OEM going online to retail. Isn't the dealer just another middleman to the OEM? I mean, it is crazy.
Jay, I don't believe that that's about margin. I believe that that's about experience. That's about customer and brand.
And that's what the article said. The guy was saying exactly. We're the ones that connect with the customers.
Profits were up last year. Profits are going to be good this year. You know, we're going to have another good year financially. I think they're looking to capitalize on the experience. There's a lot of good dealers out there, a lot of good dealer groups. Penske does a great job. AutoNation, Sonic, I mean, Echo Park. I mean, these are great things that happen. Vroom, Carvana. But there's still a lot of guys out there who are going to fumble that process and sell cars for over MSRP and not follow up with the customer. That's what Volvo is kind of saying. They want to just change that. And, you know, there's that gap too, I guess, is what they're saying.
I think the dealers are necessary because they provide more than just the sale of the car. They provide service and they provide a relationship.
Yes.
So not taking any of that out of the life cycle, but how to make it more streamlined for them, so that they're not dealing with wholesale on their lot, and they're not, you know, it's just it can muddy up their retail lot when they have wholesale, and then, you know, it's just a different type of life cycle.
Well, Michele, I was going to add, well, think of the Tesla model. Well, congratulations. There's very little need for service. They don't have a retail outlet. They have no used inventory. So congratulations, the value proposition of the typical dealer model is gone for Tesla. So it works for them. But yeah, as we talk about Volvo, well, congratulations, they're still going to need that service center. They're still going to need those parts centers. Chances are every single Volvo dealer has a used car lot attached to it. So congratulations, those can't be sold through online. And that's where they're making their money.
That's where they're making their money.
Right. It's a little unfortunate because dealers are, as far as the community is concerned, dealers really give back to their communities from my experience. I mean, the auto industry is what this country was brought up on. And in all these communities, dealers really make a difference. So I don't think that their place is going to go away. I think it's going to change a little bit.
Well, for those that don't know, ARI started in the corner of a Ford dealership. So we started in Holman Ford. It was a small desk in 1948. And now we're a global fleet management company with 2,600 employees. So yeah, you could only imagine.
As well. Merchant started as a used car dealership as well. They're right in my area, and same thing. National brand.
Yeah.
Amazing stories.
The dynamic at the automotive, I always tell people the automotive vertical has probably given rise to more millionaires and billionaires in industries that service the automotive vertical as well. The reach is more than just what the car does. And ACV Options is going public here soon. $100 million is where they're starting off at on their initial public offering. I mean, just think about that. The concept was started, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? And now it's over $100 million. It's the auto business. It gets in you. I love it.
You mentioned ACV. There's a platform I really feel like they're doing a good job with CRs. I hate to bring it back to CRs, but their mobile platform. You can record the sound of the motor. Right, they take a picture of the bottom of the car. They do a great job there. I got a couple buddies who work there. They do a nice job.
And that's where, because the comment, it depends on who is conducting the inspection. That's how good the inspection is. Where at ACV, they have their, what do they call them, VCIs, which they send out, and that's the army of inspectors that work for ACV. Well, yeah, you're going to have a better condition report and a better process because you've got folks at the location helping make sure that, it isn't just some random college kid that, needs to go deliver more pizzas.
And that's their core competency, that and the 20-minute auction, which is kind of nice. They can have their VCI do the condition report. They can put it on an auction. It can be sold to 20-minute auction. So it's an interesting concept that's done really well. I think they're sold 500,000 cars last year.
In fact, Michele, parkmyfleet.com and ACV, what's the story?
So,
Oh, yes.
Park My Fleet, not to plug my own company on this conversation,
Absolutely.
but Park My Fleet provides support services. So we provide a service for them as they grow out their consignor market. So, you can go onto a dealership lot and you can do the condition reports and sell the vehicles, no problem. But if they want to grow their market into the national accounts, rental car companies, consignors, they need to have a little bit of a footprint, and that's exactly what we do. And we've had a great pilot in Staten Island. We have 5 locations open, and they're growing with us. And we're able to take the vehicle for them and just have it there. The VCI comes and does the condition report. They put it on their platform, it sells, and then it's a easier transition when the buyer comes to pick it up, because they're not entering a retail lot as a buyer of a wholesale car. That's the last thing a dealer wants. But it's been a really great relationship, and so that's primarily what we do, is we provide support services, and we're creating mobility hubs, and we're doing it nationwide to help support all the different transactions and verticals for the auto industry.
So I got a question for you, Michele. Are you guys, and this is one thing I've always thought a problem that ACV might run into, especially northeast, is the space is limited. So if you made a deal with the dealer, the Ford guy, and you come in and you do all your stuff ACV does to the cars, they sell them just like that. But the car sits there for 4 or 5 days. The dealer guy's not too happy about that, right?
Right. So they can use our locations as like a hub and spoke model where they corral the vehicles until maybe the buyer wants to pick up 5. So any type of support service like that, that's what we offer. And not just for remarketing, but for other verticals like trucking, last mile delivery, with ride share and car share, and any type of portfolio service that needs somewhere to put a car and have it serviced at any point during its life cycle, or between uses, between owners, a complete service for just taking care of the vehicle throughout its entire life. And that can end with a remarketing platform as well.
And is Park My Fleet then also involved in the title and registration piece?
At this time, we're not, but we have partners that we can use for that. So, ACV handles their own titles, and our other partners right now handle their own titles. I mean, if that it was a critical mass, and that was something that a customer wanted us to do, sure, we could find a third party to help us with that, or we could dig in. We're pretty resourceful and entrepreneurial. We're not doing that at this moment, but that certainly doesn't mean that we won't. Our goal is to create mobility hubs across the nation. Eventually, and actually right now we're outfitting several for EV charging, and we're looking to support that network, and also eventually AV, autonomous vehicle support.
Well, we're going to talk about stackable APIs here soon, because that's one of the things that I've come to notice. It's interesting what one company outsources and then goes on to bring in-house.
Right. And like we talked about before when we had the pre-meeting, the collaboration is just so important, because we can't do it all fast enough. There's so much innovation and technology and that's going on in this industry that we kind of have to do this all together, because it's going really fast.
So I got another question for you. Sorry. So let's say you've got a 10-acre lot. It's asphalt or concrete, and it's got a fence with a gate. And you're in a metropolitan city, right? So there's 200 dealers within a 50-mile radius. And we're going to have an ACV auction, and the BDI guys, or whatever Jay calls them, they're going to come and do so Michele, I need you to go to 10 different dealers and get 40 different cars and have them all ready by Friday, because we're coming in on Friday. Is that how that works?
Are you asking from the ACV perspective? Is that how that works? Or from
Yeah,
the
the
park,
VCI being
my
the
fleet.
ACV. I think he's talking
well,
ACV.
If I'm ACV and I go to the dealer and the dealer, I can get his business. I know I can get this dealer's business, but the catch is I really got to get the cars off his lot. So if I'm an ACV sales rep, I go into the dealer and I say, hey, I got a better way than the auction. The transport guys suck. Everything sucks. Why don't we just leave them here? We'll take care of it for you. Deal? And they, yeah, I like that deal. Hey, Michelle, I got all the cars back here. Hurry up and come and get them. Take them to your place. We'll see you Friday. Is that how it works?
Right.
Well, right
yeah.
now, how it works for them with dealers is generally they don't want them to move. They want them to stay on their lot if they can. So a dealership, they'll go there and they will do the condition reports and sell the vehicle. What we're helping them with are the customers that they have that don't have property or a footprint. So we're helping them primarily with the commercial accounts. Now, if it's dealerships, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes dealerships have lots that are completely full. They don't want a bunch of cars on their property. They want retail cars. In that case, then sure. Then it's worth it for them to get those cars off their lot, put them in a singular location, and have them be loaded on ACV to be sold.
Right.
But
what I'm saying is, are you going to go get those cars that dealer doesn't want, or is that somebody else's job? Ty's job? Ty, I need you to go get the cars and take them to Michelle?
well, ACV has their own transportation, so it depends on the customer that you're talking about. If it's a customer that wants that service but doesn't have it, then yes, we have tons of providers that will provide that service for us.
I think that's your answer, Ty, is she's saying ACV's carrier network. Interesting, right. Because, ultimately, and that's everybody has to have a carrier network.
Because I know car dealers, and I know they get kinky about certain things, and one of them is the appearance of the lot and the back lot, right?
Right.
I like things to look good and look nice. So if I
Sure,
got
they don't want to muddy their retail lot with wholesale if they
That's
can
right.
avoid it.
Yeah. So ACV makes the deal. We'll come in, we'll take care of this problem for you, we'll sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think ACV makes a deal with the carriers that if you've got there's a time, as soon as you say I'm going to get this car, the clock starts ticking, and if it's not off the lot by that time, you better have a really good reason.
Right. I'm sure that's true. We don't concern ourselves exactly with what their dealings are with their customers, that they are taking condition reports and selling the vehicles on their lot. We just provide a service and agnostic property to help them support in the vehicles that they need to sell, within the market that they don't have the property piece for.
Got it. That's
and
cool.
Services, we provide reconditioning and DID and different types of service depending on SLA for whichever client requires it.
Nice.
So I guess, you can look at it different ways, but it can be like an acquisition lot where vehicles come in and they're prepared for the next part of their life cycle. And then, they're always secured. So our lots are all fenced and gated, secured, they're staffed, which makes it a little bit different than just a lot, in the middle of nowhere.
Got it. I like it. So
Okay.
what it
Like it too.
Yeah. What do you? I was at America's Auto Auction, Kansas City, Missouri, up by the airport last week. They had
Love Americas.
Yeah, they're my favorite for sure. They had about right at 1,000 cars, and I don't know this for a fact. I'm going to double check with Doug this week, but something like an 80% sale, and the price.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing! It's amazing.
Does that sound right?
It does sound right. I mean, there's just the inventory is so low and the need so high. It is. It's like something we've never seen
everybody was
before.
high-fiving out there. It was, I guess, a banger sell. So, is that what you're seeing, Mike?
Yeah, pretty much anything that shows up is selling. And it's one of the things that, and Michele could even talk on this, traditionally fleet lanes usually have a higher sales percentage across the board. Then you go down to the rental and then the dealers and then the repos. They're all trying to catch up. Well, congratulations, pretty much everybody is selling. And, to give a shout out to Black Book, they even track this on their week-to-week basis to see what that sales percentage is on a national level. And I believe over the last 3 weeks, it's gone up multiple points per week. And my opinion and ARI's opinion is we're going to continue seeing this, especially as you guys mentioned earlier, the semiconductor issue, new vehicle volumes are down. congratulations. All that means is skyrocketing sales in the used vehicle space.
Well, I guess the next I go flashback to, what was that, 2009, maybe 10, when we had the cash for clunkers and all the new cars kind of stopped for a while. Remember that?
Yeah, new cars stopped, and then I was actually in the repo business back then, and congratulations, repo started slowing down because people were getting astronomical numbers for selling this old Isuzu Trooper that, if we took it to auction, was $200. Well, congratulations, because of cash for clunkers, I think they're getting $4,500, some astronomical. So yeah,
if you can't sell your car now, you have a real pricing problem.
Yeah. That's so true.
Well, that's so. I was thinking, I'm getting flashbacks of 2009, 10, and I'm looking at it today, and okay, well, we might have financial trouble, we might have car problem manufacturing, but our new cars. So remember when the dealers would not see? I mean, I remember my new car store guys would keep the most insane piece of crap on the lot. Do you guys remember that? I mean, like stuff that they wouldn't even send it to their buy here, pay here down the street. That kind of car they used to get rid of, they would keep them. And so I don't know. Are we going to run into that? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Are we going to run into it?
We're already seeing that now. I mean, dealers are digging deep for inventory. Customers I work with have all adjusted mechanical and reconditioning times on cars over under 10,000 or under 12,000. They've adjusted there. They're selling warranties on those cars. For a lot of different reasons. One, it's the only vehicle out there, right? If you want to increase your sales, you're going to have to go to those older, higher mileage cars. But two, it's a better ROI, right? You can clear whatever $3,000 PVR on a $10,000 car. That's way better than $3,000 on a $20,000 car. So, I think you're going to see a lot of dealers switching to selling a lot older cars.
Do you think a lot more are going to just start selling as is? Do you think they're not going to put in the time and the money to make it?
I think you're going to see a lot of 3-month, 3,000 miles or lifetime powertrain. You're already kind of starting to see that stuff.
It's kind of replicating the housing market. It's just crazy. People are just buying whatever.
I believe dealer certification, I think, will become real big this year as well, where the dealer is going to stand behind the car, right? It's Joe dealer certified, not OEM, not Toyota or Ford certified. It's Joe certified. This way, if there's a problem, they got to come back to Joe for the problem, and he can either decide which bucket he wants to warranty the car out of, or just flip the customer to something new.
That's cool. Good information.
I was thinking, so if capacity is this tight, inventory is this tight, that's another factor for the transporter. You've got dealers playing musical chairs with inventory, which means you've got transporters playing musical chairs with loads, and maybe that's why so many guys ended up taking something to deliver to the port, and they didn't know what it was normally like at the port. I mean, that's the thing, is that I think there's still, no matter what happens in the market, you've got many transporters saying, where are the loads? And at the same time, so many companies saying, where are the drivers? It's so strange.
Well, and I think if you factor in where the dealer, so I hate to keep plugging Clubhouse. I don't know why I keep plugging it, but I keep landing in these rooms, and I still haven't figured it out. But it's car dealers, and it's the ones I've really found the most, really keep my attention, are sales. And I get stuck in these things for an hour, just listening to them. Because
I shouldn't ask, but I've tried to sign up for them, and they have to send you a text to get in, and I haven't gotten that yet. So is there some type of an invite, or maybe I shouldn't even open that Pandora's box? I don't need to get sucked into that rabbit hole.
Huh?
I said I don't need to get sucked into that rabbit hole, but
it's really here's what I love about it. Okay, so what we're doing here is fun, and I like it, but I'm the guy that's always like, go talk to the freaking car dealer. He will tell you what he's doing. If you've got a question and you really want to know, go ask the car dealer. He'll tell you what he's doing. You might not come out and tell you everything, but you'll get a good idea. So anyway, you sit there and you listen to this. Do you want to know what the car dealer thinks about above probably everything we're talking about? Selling a car. They want to sell a car, and they've got people that they train. I mean, like you're talking about drinking Kool-Aid, Jay. Dude, they got really cool Kool-Aid over here. And I mean, it gets exciting, especially when you're in these meetings like after 9 p.m. or something. But anyway, the point is car dealers have a ton of problems. I know they do. But the amount of money that they must spend, Tim can probably speak to this, but the amount of money they must spend to train somebody to sell a car is probably pretty interesting, I bet.
Some dealership groups, it's almost $10,000.
How many?
Almost $10,000 in some. I don't. There's probably an NADA average, but I know the first franchise group I went to go work for spent $9,000 on me to train them as a salesperson.
And is that the one where they like bring the hot shot guy in and he comes and does like a week seminar for everybody? Is that it?
Yeah, I got a whole book, and it's a platform that you know we did. There's you guys know Sean Bradley. He calls it Bradley on Demand. We did something similar to that. That's the real popular one now. We kind of go through the video modules. But at the end of the day, yeah, the training, it's a big investment for these dealers to hire somebody.
Yeah. So I've been getting in on that because it's helped me with the whole car hauling, how to help guys figure this business out. Because we're sitting here and we're talking about inventory's low, market price, used car high, repos are going to kill everybody. Where do you park the cars and how long does it take to get them to the lot? Which is all really important stuff, right? But the more you wrap your brain around what these guys have to do to be able to even think about me, the transport guy or the refinance guy or the repo, I mean, I've just always told guys, if you want to be a car hauler, do one thing. Go hang out with a car dealer and learn what that guy has to deal with every day, right? And that should change your perspective and make you want to be a helper, make you want to be a servant kind of guy, because this guy's got plenty of problems, and you don't need to be one of them. You just need to pick the cars up, and you need to drop them off and say thank you, and maybe mow the yard on the way out, right?
That training must have really evolved in the last few years too, because they must really have to pay attention to the digital people that are knocking on the door digitally before they're coming in, more so than ever.
The hiring process it's all changed, you know.
They were giving away these $2,000 build your own brand stuff last night. I mean, they gave 3 of them away in this one room. It's all exactly what you're saying, Michele. I mean, when you go, this one guy, he came out and said it. He said, if you come in and you hire, and I'm talking to you about finding a job, and you've got 30,000 followers, you're hired.
Yeah.
We don't even need to talk anymore. Just come on to work tomorrow. Be here at 8. I mean, that's how the digital and the social media, from a car sales perspective. You know, I make fun of used car sale guys. I've always made fun of them. They're my best friends, but we always have a good time making fun of each other, right? Who wants to go do that job for a month?
I've done it. I'll do it again. I think we're about to go through another golden era of used car business. I think you thought last year was good. I think this year, car dealers got 99 problems. I don't think gross is going to be one of them this year. They're going to make gross. It's just going to be, they're going to want to do it more.
Yeah.
There's not going to be the chance.
Well, that's good. So anyway, I think I love what we're talking about, because it really does, to me, all come back to the dealer. And I mean, whether you like them or you don't like them, or whether you think they're crazy or not crazy, the ultimate end of the day, in my opinion, is that's the guy that's going to pay me money. And I want to do my best to make sure I make that guy happy, because, you know, he does have plenty of things to deal with. So it is fun. And then, you know, back to this remarketing thing, you know, a lot of times we, as car haulers, we hear the word remarketing and we think, well, they just need to go get it cleaned up. I used to get in trouble all the time as a car hauler. Hey, Ty, can you pick him up on Tuesday? Because I need him to be at the sale Tuesday at noon. Oh, yeah, sure. Why? Because I got to vacuum him. So we're late, just like every car hauler. We show up at 5, right? I get a phone call at 6 p.m. What in the, Jay, you got your beep button? Beep out the bad words. Beep, beep. What is why did you not have him there? And I'm like, dude, what do you mean? They just got to vacuum out. They were clean already. No. They have to do the whole condition report. Well, this has been years ago. I didn't know what the condition report was and really didn't care, to be honest. But now, fast forward, it all makes sense. So I think as a carrier, if you're watching this show and you're like, what are you guys talking about?
Right.
Seriously.
That's the tie-in right there, is that even if we didn't cover the topic that you wanted us to cover tonight, there are so many things to think about, and that's why I'm never going to stop talking about Unicorn Land, because there's this assumption that, that we're just beyond that Amazon's figured it out, everything is cheap, easy, and fast. And I am here to remind everybody it is not. And we should recall, next time we order a pizza or whatever it is for delivery, that yes, we fall into the cycle that as soon as we've gotten off the phone or clicked the button, it's on the way. Not the case. Mo Frere?
But I'll tell you what, if you want to make that the case, give me a call if you're a dealer, because I've really got a great idea that I really think we can make it easy peasy and push the button and it shows up the next day. Just go to the same auction on all the time and we can make that happen.
Right.
Right. So go to the physical auction, bring your buzzer, and there you go.
No, Tim, show them what you have to do, Tim, at the auction to load that. There you go.
Don't let it go.
That is awesome.
And don't forget, look for the ARI vehicles in the lane first.
Yeah, put your hot dog
Don't forget
down,
the sellers.
Lane 8 hot dog.
Get out of lane 8. Get out of lane 8 with your hot dog.
Lane 8 hot dogs. Oh man.
All right. Well,
that would be the name of the overtime segment on Auto Transport Intel. Lane 8 hot dogs. We gotta get there, man. I love it.
Tim gives us so much good stuff for free. Thanks, Tim. Block of ice, hot dogs in lane 8. What's next?
Oh,
Jay,
man.
thank you very much. That was a great show.
That was a great show. I really appreciate everybody's time. Normally, I do kind of, any last thoughts, and I'll say it as we say goodbye. Paul, any last thoughts?
To Ty's point, we always begin with the end in mind, and that's our customer's our dealer.
Yeah, right on. Ty, last points?
Call me if you need me.
Excellent. I like this. This is like a speed round. Tim!
Ty, you harped on it really a bunch. If you're a hauler and you're on here and you're looking for something extra, go knock on a dealer's door and talk to them. We didn't talk about some things that we could talk about more. There are other things happening at the car dealers today that you can get to move cars. It's more than just auctions. So good advice. Maybe the next show.
Yeah. Thanks,
right
Tim.
on. I like that. Taking notes. Michele, final thoughts?
Just thanks for having me here. It was a great conversation and love to collaborate.
I appreciate that. This was a great night. And Mike, thank you. Final thoughts.
All I want to say is the same thing Michele said. Wonderful panel. Thank you for having me. And Ty, as you mentioned, nobody knows what everybody else is dealing with. And it doesn't matter if it's us on the screen or the dealers you're trying to get inventory from. Taking a step back, putting yourself in their shoes and identifying those problems, hopefully it helps us all get along and get more business.
Yeah, Michele, I'm going to find you on LinkedIn. I've got an idea for you.
You can't find me. No, you can find me.
I'll try to track you down tomorrow. I want to throw a couple ideas at you that I think.
Awesome. I love it.
All right. Awesome.
And that's an open invitation. If anybody wants to get more information about anybody that was on the show, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. I want to help. And thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Good to see everybody.
Good
Thanks.
night, everybody. All right, and I'm ending the meeting now. That's it. I hit the end the meeting button, and that was fun. That was so okay. So it was part experiment, in that I wanted to create a show that leading up to the transportation and logistics panel on the 18th would be some version of a rehearsal. But at the same time, I feel like that show is different from the 179 others that have been done on this channel. And that what was neat, what I was looking for, and, because Paul, Tim, Mike, and then Michele, she's the newcomer on the channel. I like to keep bringing people back on. And I thought, and then Ty, of course, man, he's a pillar of the community, that we could start to dig up more nuggets for future shows. And you saw it happen live on Auto Transport Intel. I do get excited. I think about, it's a 2-hour show. I know it's a long show, but it takes time for good archaeology to happen. And we got to go back and we got to find the fossils and we got to fix it. So we're working on it, and you guys are helping me. So thank you so much for being a part of the live chat tonight. I want to thank Sue of Murphy Auto Transport Services. Please do join us on Thursday. She's my co-host. I want to thank Mark at SuperFlo Systems. Thank you, buddy, for your contribution, participation, and your car shipping guru questions. Don't forget, go to dispatchcenter.com/Ask Larry and submit and get a hat. That's right. And I really appreciate my panelists tonight. Paul Machine at Black Book, Tim Scoutelis, Max Digital, Michele Pirog, ParkMyFleet.com. Looking forward to learning more about Park My Fleet. Mike Buchanan, ARI, Ty Thompson, Cars on the Move, every Friday, connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. ATI goes live 4 times a week. I'm Jay, your host, your founder of this channel. And thank you guys so much. We're going to start 90 minutes later tomorrow on DOT compliance. If you're a carrier and you need help, MC Authority, DOT number, IFTA, IRP, that stuff. It's real fun stuff. We're doing that on Wednesdays on DOT compliance. Thank you guys so much. And yes, be sure to join us next Tuesday night. It's going to be the Holly Pro. We have a featured segment with United Road. And then we're going to continue the show with Black Book. We're going to talk about consumer driveway inventory. So, always connecting the verticals. That's what we do here in Auto Transport Intel. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. Thank you all so much. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.